Hi, welcome back. We're going to look at composing an email now, and there's a lot of features here that I think you're going to find very useful. So, when you're ready, you go to your mail. Then, to create a new message, all you need to do is go to Compose. Now, the first thing we want to look at is how do we find the person that we want to send this message to? And I can go here, click on the two, and I can search contacts. Let's say I wanted to contact Joanne Silverstein. I could just type in a last name, search, and this is a DoDEA-wide search. And well, what do you know? There she is. So I just say yes, and I can select. Notice I could grab a bunch of people. You could add a lot of your students, let's say, and save them as a group right from this interface. You could search your contact groups that you have, and we'll talk about contact groups a little later. Once I've selected somebody, I select them. Their name comes in here. I'm going to put a subject in here. And I don't know if you remember a while back, those of you who've been around for a bit, we used to be able to send HTML mail in Outlook, and that was taken away from us, and a lot of people miss it. So with Google, you've got some of that functionality back again. So this little plus here will show you some of the things that you can add to a message. Of course, I can attach files. I can do things with text. So here and change the color of my text if I wanted. I can make it bold. I can make it italicized. I can underline it. So all those things that we used to be able to do, we can now do again in our Gmail. We can do bulleted lists. You can indent. When I go down here, I can add a link. I can make something a link. So if I just highlight that text again, you type your link into the text box, hit OK, and now you've got your hot link. Let's say I have something in my Google Drive and I want to embed that into the message. I can go right here and click on My Drive, and if I want it in list view, let's say, you notice I can either look at it as icons or list view. So I'll go to icons again. So if I wanted to put something in here, it's very easy then to go ahead and add that. So so I could put that in as an attachment. I can also add pictures. So if I go down here again, I can add a picture. I can use a picture off a web address if you have one, or if you have something on your computer, you can go ahead and add a picture. Let's see if I've got something on my desktop. I usually have something here. Oh, look at that. There's an American flag. And I say OK, and now that flag. And notice it's in there. You don't have to open it up. It's not an attachment. So you've got that capability. So if you want to send something out with some screenshots to somebody, this is the way you can do that now. So if I want to get rid of it, I can just discard the draft there. I can go to full screen. And now I want to put a label on this. So I can go over here, and maybe I want to make sure that it goes into my district. And that way, with a label, any responses will also include that label, and it makes it easier to follow a conversation then. So it's a nice feature that you can do within here. So I just hit apply, and I hit send, and I'm done. A few more settings before we finish up this video. And we went to settings before when we set up the filter. If you don't remember, go to your inbox, the little gear, settings, and I'm just going to go through a couple of these things. The best way to learn this is try some of these things and see if they're something that you like. Turn it on, turn it off. You can go back in. You won't destroy anything by doing that. You can add a signature. So just try some of these settings. what I want to go to is forwarding. This is something you might want to use. I have mine set to forward all of my Gmail to my Dodia account. You can add a forwarding address by just clicking on there, adding that in. If you wanted only certain types of email to get forwarded, you can do that with a filter, so you'd create a filter. If you want to configure an email client, let's say you want to look at your home email, you want all of your Gmail to come into Outlook or something, you can add that as an account, and the instructions for that are here. It shows you configuration instructions. You can either use POP or IMAP. It supports both. IMAP has some advantages, but the instructions for both are right there. Chat, you can this is functional for us, and the chat you can configure some of the items here. Labs are very interesting. These are some experimental sort of extensions that can be added to your mail client. Google employees are given 20% of their time. They're encouraged to spend 20% of their workday experimenting and trying new things. I think it's something we might think about. And a lot of these labs are the product of those experiments. And when they first come out, they're sort of beta, and you can try them out. And if they prove popular and successful, then they're usually added eventually to the Gmail application. But right now they're still experimental. But you can just go in and enable them. Notice I have some things enabled, like undo send is one that I like. So it's just where you can kind of call back. It delays sending your email for a few seconds, so that if you say, oh, I didn't want to send that, you can undo it. That's about it. So feel free to experiment with some of these things. That's it for part 2 of Gmail. Hope you enjoyed that.